We're now just 13 days until the November general election, and tonight we continue our look at the biggest issues facing our state with the KOMO News Strategies 360 Pulse of Washington poll. And tonight we're focused on crime and public safety. We asked 600 registered voters a variety of questions, including how safe or unsafe do you feel in your neighborhood? As you can see, an overwhelming 79% said safe, compared to 21% who said not safe.
The poll also showed that public safety and the response to crime is still a top issue for voters. KOMO's Jeremy Harris live tonight with that part of the poll. Jeremy?
Yeah, Preston, you really don't have to look much further than the ads that the candidates for governor are running right now here in Washington. Both sides pitch themselves as tough on crime, compassionate to the homeless, and friendly to the police. What it says is that still public safety is a top priority for Washington voters. The 4 lease signs are up on Burion's Main Street. One of them hangs here at Iris and Peony, where florist Robin Desimone is moving out. You founded the Burion Business Alliance.
Me and a few others, correct, and I would say I was the loudest and the squeakiest wheel, and I failed.
For Robin, the failures are the city's constant issues with homeless encampments and public drug use.
We do not feel safe here.
She says her walk-in business disappeared.
I'm not prepared to sign another lease again and wait this out. It will take a long time for people to feel safe shopping in Burien.
The issues in Burien also topped the list of this KOMO News Strategies 360 poll, with 70% of responses saying substance abuse and homelessness are the biggest contributors to crime. The poll also found theft and drugs were the most commonly identified crime by respondents.
Somebody tried to stab me. I've been spit on. I've had thrown on me.
In Seattle, residents have put pressure on city leaders to deal with crime and homelessness.
I got addicts clogging sidewalks, dealers in the street, grandmas running scared, saying, "Oh, please don't assault me."
We've had a reset on public safety.
Bob Kettle heads the Public Safety Committee on the Seattle City Council.
I've been seeing a market improvement, and we just need to keep this momentum.
He says Seattle has made progress in cleaning up encampments and connecting people to housing, while adding public safety measures like the newly passed drug and prostitution loitering laws.
I have people constantly talking to me now, hey, I've been down this part of downtown, much better.
What is clear from polling is that public safety is still something that moves voters in Washington.
I am assured that nothing is going to change anytime soon. And so the only thing I can change then is my address.
Now, a lot of the focus on public safety has been right here in Seattle, but the numbers are showing some progress, with overall crime dipping 7% last year and the numbers heading in the right direction so far this year. We'll see how the year ends out. For now, reporting live in Seattle, Jeremy Harris, KOMO News.
KOMO News political analyst Ron Dotzauer of Strategies 360 is back to take a deeper dive into this. So there seems to be some mixed messages when it comes to most people saying they feel safe, but at the same time, nearly half say that crime has actually increased in their neighborhood. What do you make of this contradiction, Ron?
Well, it actually does make a little sense, because people always feel very comfortable in their own home.
Always, yeah.
Okay, so but when they get outside their house, sometimes their comfort level changes a little bit. So that kind of follows with just human nature, and the polling sort of reflects that as well.
So the survey also asked about people, about the factors fueling crime in the state. As we heard in Jeremy's story, most people cited drugs and homelessness. Anything stand out or surprise you with those results?
No, because I think that's generally where the public's at on those issues. You know, then there's the petty crimes, I think, that was up near the top of that list as well, in terms of burglaries and car thefts and so forth. But no, nothing, it all sort of consistent with what we've seen historically over the last several years here in Washington State, and particularly in the Seattle market.
I want to turn to the governor's race now and ask you specifically about the campaigns and the candidates. So Dave Reichert, former King County Sheriff, is attacking his opponent, Attorney General Bob Ferguson, calling him soft on crime. But he's still trailing by a lot in the polls. Why isn't this style of, campaigning working when he's hitting on the very issue that people seem to care about?
Because he doesn't have enough money to really drive that message. He's being outspent, 9 to 1, 10 to 1, and there's 3 legs of the stool in communication. There's the candidate, and there's the message, and then there's the money. And if you don't have enough money to drive that message, even though that's an important message, it doesn't necessarily resonate if you can't just keep pounding away on it. And he doesn't have the resources. And again, it's an important message, and I think Ferguson would recognize that it's an important message as well. And he's tried to hit that issue as well in terms of the number of new law enforcement officials he thinks that needs to be hired. Seattle seems to be taking that on. They're offering nice $50,000 bonuses. You know, my son's a police officer in another city. You know, maybe I don't know. Anyway, the point is, it's a high priority for voters in the state. It remains. It's the second most important issue in the state of Washington, only trumped by the cost of living and the cost of goods and services, which has doubled in terms of voters' attitudes in the last 2 years.
I think we talked about this yesterday. Just lastly here, you know, when it comes to Reichert and Ferguson, you clearly see more Ferguson ads than you see Reichert ads. You see Reichert on X trying to get on social media and push his message, but when you talk about the money, that's definitely the case. But we talked about this yesterday with undecided voters, and less than 2 weeks left. Is there enough time with the current situation at hand to give Reichert a chance at getting ahead of Ferguson?
It's hard, okay, because there's 8% undecided. You know, right now it's 51-41, and if every single undecided voter decided they were going to vote for Dave Reichert, he would still be 51-49. So, you know, we know the close election is going to happen. I suspect he's not going to get all those 8 points, okay? So, as we said yesterday, the hill he has to climb and the challenges that he has in front of him about being outspent, the issue of Donald Trump kind of being a drag on the governor's race, certainly here in Washington State, does not help him. You've seen some Ferguson pieces about reminding the voters about his closeness to the former president, which is all about the research, right? Because they know that he's unpopular, so they're going to tie his can to his wagon. And so those are really big challenges for him to overcome in the environment with 13 days to go. And so I just don't know that he gets there.
All right, KOMO News political analyst Ron Dawsauer, thank you so much for joining us.
You
Always
bet.
appreciate your insight. And of course, we'll check back in with you as we get closer and closer to Election Day.